Okay. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for watching my previous video in which I talk about 5 ways in which we can all support our small and local businesses to keep them going in this time of crisis. Now, as I was doing research for that video, I came across initiatives that are really heartwarming in terms of what people are doing to bring together resources that they have and to do good in this time of struggle. Which got me thinking that there is one aspect that is spreading beyond this nasty virus, and that is kindness. Although we are all isolated and staying at home, if you're not, stay at home. There is a global emergence of kindness and positivity and people coming together to do good. People are using existing infrastructures and resources and tools that they have available to new and good uses. And I think at the basis of these good initiatives is the fact that people that are in a good situation, people that have it okay, people that feel that actually it's not that bad staying at home, that actually is a call for us to help others in need. And really, this is the purpose of this video, is to highlight examples in which different businesses or groups of people have used their position of privilege and abundance to help others around them. Another inspiration I got for this video is this image I saw around looking out for the helpers in a situation of crisis. It is really easy to identify those people who are willing to help others, people who put themselves out there and make themselves available and their knowledge available to make others' lives easier. So from one isolated human to another, here are 3 examples of good initiatives that we can all learn from. Now, the first thing I've noticed online is a lot of initiatives of using social media to do good. The one example that I came across in the very early days of the coronavirus fight in the context of Italy was digital entrepreneur Chiara Ferrari and her husband, who set up a GoFundMe page to build an entire intensive care unit. They personally donated 100,000 euros for this, and engaging their probably over 20 million Instagram followers, a whopping 4 million euros. Now, this is an incredible example of someone who is using their social media influence for good and translating that into a reality for patients. A similar example that's closer to home is led by my dear friend Isabel. Isabel and her friend Monica are raising funds to help doctors, volunteers, nurses, and people that are on the frontline staff of the Filipino medical system, and raising money that would go towards meals for them. They've raised a considerable amount of money and have even received acknowledgement of their contribution from the Office of the Vice President. It's really important work, and they're really leveraging social media to kick off this initiative and to keep it going. A second example of good, kind-hearted support is being set up at local levels. I came across this type of support through one of my friends who told me that they are turning their garden and their house into the headquarters of volunteering in their neighborhood in London, and told me to look up mutual aid for Leeds. As I was doing that, I came across several initiatives that are engaging volunteers at a local level to help out people in their area. So if you're interested, go on Facebook and look at mutual aid for your area. For a big town like Leeds, they are divided into postcodes. There's a general Leeds group, but then under that there's one for each postcode. Now, if this idea scares you completely and you think, I don't want to get outside the house, there are also things you can do from the comfort of your own home, such as giving calls for people who are isolated or lonely at home. Speaking of which, today I gave a phone call to my 90-year-old grandma, and it was really amazing to speak with her and to just generally have a chit chat about things given the situation that is going on. Under this category of local groups of support, I came across a really interesting website called Acorn the Union. This is relevant just to the UK, but on this website you are able to find your city and areas of local support that you can get involved in. This is a global pandemic, but actually the key to success for getting over this is local help and local support. Now, the third and last example of doing good in this time of need has come from businesses changing their business model to help those in crisis. Businesses have been forced to rethink how they do business. As I said in my previous video, a lot of them are shutting down, they're just doing deliveries, and and they're really minimizing the contact that they have with people. I was able to admire some local businesses in the Leeds area that are doing things differently that I think are really worthwhile and noteworthy. So the first one is Hyde Park Book Club has kindly offered to prepare meals for those in need, and they're also doing deliveries. Now, I'm not sure what the situation exactly will be from now moving forward, since today, the 24th of March, the UK government has announced a lockdown. But the fact that in a very, very short space of time, small businesses and big businesses are changing their business model to support this crisis is really, really impressive. Another example is another local restaurant we have here called Heaney and Mill. They have turned into a greengrocer, so they're selling fresh fruit and vegetables, cheeses and dairy and eggs and things like that. They've become a point of help for the community, and really it's what we need given that the supermarkets are running out of food. Another business I want to talk about that is providing incredible support for people in need at the moment is Thrive Law here in Leeds. Jodie Hill, who's the managing director of Thrive Law and a dear friend of mine, has put together a free tool to help people with any questions they might have from an employment point of view. And she's also providing a lot of support, answering questions for people and setting up a dedicated email address for anyone who might have any questions about the current situation, again from an employment law point of view. On a larger scale, we're seeing entire industries being called to participate and to help with this crisis. So a few examples are the fashion industry, who are being called upon to make masks and protective suits. We're seeing the automotive industries being asked to make ventilators, and we're also seeing social media giants like Facebook providing small grants for small businesses to keep them going. I think it's really inspiring to see how businesses are changing what they're doing in such a short space of time. I think it's a real sign of innovation and transformative thinking. As far as I'm concerned, for Research Retold, I mentioned in my previous video that indeed this period of crisis is affecting our activity. A huge part of what we do are workshops. So one thing that we are doing to help us move forward through this crisis is to look at ways to deliver the content online. In conclusion, I think there's a lot of good business practice, a lot of good initiatives that we can all learn from, whether that's using social media to do good, whether that's local initiatives of support that you can get involved in or even help set up yourself, and finally, whether that's changing your business model or changing your activity to best respond to this crisis. So again, I would urge you, if you come from a place of having enough or having more than you need, this is a good opportunity for all of us to think of how to get involved and how to help those around us. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.